When we want students to do something and turn it in for credit, we create what they call assignments in Google Classroom. Please know that you always want to look for the Classwork tab so that you can see this big Create button. This allows us to create some different options, one of which is called an assignment. Now, just generally speaking, you want to create assignments so it signals to kids that they have to do something. There's kind of this transaction between the teacher assigning something, the student turning it in, and the teacher giving feedback and passing it back. To create the assignment, let's go ahead and give this a title. Please give students any instructions that they would need in order to complete the assignment. This is really good, especially now that students are doing things digitally, because they may have a few questions about what they actually need to do. So you may want to give them some detailed directions here, as well as any of our support facilitators that are trying to help assist their students with accommodations. If they are co-teachers in your Google Classroom, they can also see the instructions here and help the student and support them in the needs that they have. When you have these assignments, you probably want to click the Add button to attach a document. Now you can attach anything from Google Drive, so that could be a Google Doc, a Google Sheet, a Google Slides. When we do this, we can search for any of our documents. Some people suggest including a blank document. And whenever you attach a Google Docs, Slides, or Sheet, again, it has to be a Google file, you have three options. Students can see the file, and it's kind of like a PDF. They can look, but they won't be able to edit your information on that document. But if we click that drop down, we have two more options. Students can edit file is a good option if you're trying to do something collaborative, but please remember that right now, this could be for all of your students in your Google Classroom. So that might mean maybe 30 students, including yourself, making changes to a document all at one time. That can be a little overwhelming. What most teachers choose is to make a copy for each student. We like to think of this as taking our teacher copy to the copy machine or the Xerox machine and making a copy for each student digitally. Google will actually make a copy for each student and put their name on that document. Whenever students see their document, they make changes to it, it is only affecting their document. You as a teacher will always have edit rights, so you can assist the student and make any changes, provide feedback, adding in comments, all the benefits that you would get from a Google Doc. But when you make a copy for each student, it's very safe. Again, this is kind of like the copy center where we run copies for each student. So most teachers will choose that. I do want to mention that if you add different Google Drive files, you can always mix and match. So if I have a document where I want to make a copy for each student, I can do that. And if I have a different Google Doc where I want to give them this information as a resource, I can also give them view rights for a different document. So I can mix and match my attachments. You can also add files where you upload them from your C drive, your U drive. That file could be living on your computer. That would be clicking on this file. And then it'll ask you to choose files from your computer. And it should bring up your normal Windows display. Other options for attachments include links. This is where you could provide a link for students to go research maybe a current event, but you basically copy and paste a link in and say add link. Another option you could add is YouTube. However, I do want to caution you that some YouTube videos will be blocked for students because YouTube will block videos that they deem inappropriate or maybe not quite right for students that are under 13 years of age. And this has to do with their user agreement. For more information, consult the YouTube user agreement if you want to see the reasons why. But please know that Lake County Schools Instructional Technology and Information Technology Department does not have any control over what videos students see. This is really done by YouTube. So be very careful if you're trying to add a YouTube video. Students may not be able to watch that YouTube video. Over on the right-hand side, you'll see some more options whenever you create assignments or other things inside of Google Classroom. When it says For, this is going to be a drop-down list of all your Google Classrooms. If you're a teacher that wants to create a Google Classroom for separate class periods and you teach the same prep, this might be a good idea to try to post things really fast to your students. I could post this assignment to maybe 3 or 4 classes, and anytime I click off of it, it will tell you how many classes this is going to go to. I want to reiterate that if you choose to add a Google Doc with your students or a Google Slides and you choose the option where students can edit the file, now you have 5 classes of students editing that one file. So I really want to make sure that you understand we probably want to make a copy for each student so that's a little bit safer. But please know you can quickly add multiple copies of the assignments for every class. Or if you choose one class, you'll have the option here where it'll be a drop down of all your students once they've entered in the classroom. Google allows you to differentiate, so I could actually create assignments, maybe with some different resources or some assignments with additional resources, some extra scaffolded documents I can add in to provide accommodations for my students. You would see a list of your students here, and you check off the students that should receive that assignment. The other students will not even see those assignments if it's not assigned for them. It's invisible except for the students that actually need it. Point values, you can adjust the point values depending on however you'd like to grade. You can also choose ungraded if you feel like this might stress out your students. Due date, we highly recommend you add a due date to your assignments, because whenever a teacher selects a due date and/or a time, it'll actually put this time on the assignment, as well as put this assignment onto the Google Calendar for students. So it makes it very easy to have students see their assignments and be able to manage their time, as long as teachers create assignments with due dates. The topic is how we organize our classroom to make it a little bit easier for students to find their assignments and other items. So we like to put in the topic here. If you've forgotten to create one, you can always click Create Topic. And if you're not sure, you can always rearrange this later in the classroom by clicking and dragging the assignment into the proper topic. The last thing that you will want to pay attention to are the rubrics. You can actually create a rubric or try to import one from Sheets. This rubric is nice if you have something that you have very specific criteria for your assignment. For more information on rubrics, please go to the following link. The last thing that we want to do with assignments is we need to get this to our kids. What we do is we click the Assign button when we want students to see the assignment right away. If we're not ready for them to see it, because maybe we're trying to prep for next week or tomorrow, we just click the drop down and we do what's called Save Draft. When we save that draft, it'll take us back to our classwork tab, and we'll see that assignment, and it'll be what's called draft mode. I know it's in draft mode because it says draft over on the right. Over on the left, it'll actually have the icon in a gray color. This lets me know visually that the students will not be able to see and or post their work to this assignment. Once I'm ready to actually have them complete it though, I want to go over to the three dots on the right. If you ever don't see those three dots for an assignment, just put your cursor over on the name of the assignment and look for the three dots directly to the right of that assignment name. Clicking the three dots, we choose Edit, and then we get back to the Assign button. When we're ready, we just click that Assign button. The last option you could do when we're trying to assign this is choose the drop-down and choose to schedule this assignment. I could actually schedule this by a date and time so that I don't even have to think about this later. So I could create this assignment, click schedule, set this time and date, and then click schedule, and my assignment will go right away to my student at that specific date and time that I've chosen.